ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया।
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवतिर्न इष्टिकी।
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 43 and 44. स एष येतर्हि अद्यास्त
स एष एतर्हि ध्यास्त
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
पितामहेन्योपन्यस्तम्
राज्ञारण्यं विवीक्षत
राज्ञारण्यं विविक्षता।
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसम्
कौरवेन्द्र स्त्रियोल्लसन्
गजाह्वये महाभागस्
गजाह्वये महाभागास्
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छ्रवा
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छवा।
स एष एतर्हि अद्यास्त
स एषर अर्थि अध्यास्त
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
राज्ञारण्यं विवीक्षत
राज्ञारण्यं विविक्षता।
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसन्
कौरवेन्द्र स्त्रियोल्लसन्
गजाह्वये महाभागस्
गजाह्वये महाभागस्
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छ्रवा
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छवा।
स एष एतर्हि अद्यास्त
स एष एतर्हि अध्यास्त
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
राज्ञारण्यं विवीक्षत
राज्ञारण्यं विविक्षता
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
आस्ते अधुना स्वराजर्षि
कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसन्
कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसन्
गजाह्वये महाभागास्
गजाह्वये महाभागास्
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छ्रवा
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छवा
Please repeat, recite.
स एष एतर्हि ध्यास्त
स एष एतर्हि अद्यास्त
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
आसनं पार्थिवोचितम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
पितामहेनोपन्यस्तम्
राज्ञारण्यं विविक्षिता
राज्ञारण्यं विवीक्षता
आस्ते अधुना स्वराजर्षि
आस्ते अधुना स राजर्षि
कौरवेन्द्रो श्रियोल्लसन्
कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसन्
गजाह्वये महाभागश्च
गजाह्वये महाभागस्
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छ्वा
चक्रवर्ती बृहच्छ्रवा. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Synonyms. Sa, he.
स हि
Esha, this.
एषा दिस
Etarhi, at the present.
एतनि at the present
Adhyaste is ruling over.
अध्यास्ते is rolling over
Asanam, the throne.
आसनं the throne
Parthiva Uchitam, just befitting a king.
पार्थिव उचितम just befitting a king
Pitamahena, by the grandfather.
पितामहन्य by the grandfather
Upanastham, being handed over.
उपन्यस्तं being handed over
Rajna, by the king.
राज्ञा by the king
Aranyam, forest.
अरण्यम forest
Vivikshata, desiring.
विविक्षता desiring
Aste, is there.
आस्ते is there
Aduna, at present.
अधुना at present
Sa, that.
सा that
Rajarshi, the sage amongst the kings.
Raj Rishi the sage amongst the kings
Kaurava Indra, the chief amongst the Kuru kings.
Kauravendra the chief amongst the Kuru kings
Shriya, glories.
Striya glory
Ullasan, spreading.
Ullasan spreading
Gajahvaye, in Hastinapura.
Gajabhaye in Hastinapura
Mahabhaga, the most fortunate.
Mahabhaga the most fortunate
Chakravarti, the emperor.
Chakravarti the emperor
Brihatshrava, highly famous.
Brihakshva highly famous
Translation, please repeat after me. The most fortunate emperor Maharaja Parikshit,
the most fortunate emperor Maharaja Parikshit
who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapura by Maharaja Yudhishthira,
who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaja Yudhishthira
when he desired to retire to the forest,
when he desired to retire to the forest,
is now ruling the world with great success
is now ruling the world with great success
due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty.
due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty.
Purport.
Purport. The prolonged sacrificial ceremonies undertaken by the sages of Naimisharanya were begun shortly after the demise of Maharaja Parikshit. The sacrifice was to continue for 1000 years, and it is understood that in the beginning some of the contemporaries of Baldeva, the elder brother of Lord Krishna, also visited the sacrificial place. According to some authorities, the present tense is also used to indicate the nearest margin of time from the past. In that sense, the present tense is applied to the region of Maharaja Parikshit here. For a continuous fact, also present tense can be used. The principles of Maharaja Parikshit can be still continued, and human society can still be improved if there is determination by the authority. We can still purge out from the state all the activities of immorality introduced by the personality of Kali if we are determined to take action like Maharaja Parikshit. He allotted some place for Kali, but in fact, Kali could not find such places in the world at all because Maharaja Parikshit was strictly vigilant to see that there were no places for gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Modern administrators want to banish corruption from the state, but fools as they are, they do not know how to do it. They want to issue license for gambling houses, wine and other intoxicating drug houses, worthless hotel, prostitution and cinema houses, and falsity in every dealing, even in their own, and they want at the same time to drive out corruption from the state. They want the kingdom of God without God consciousness. How can it be possible to adjust two contradictory matters? If we want to drive out corruption from the state, we must first of all organize society to accept the principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. And to make the condition favorable, we must close all places of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and falsity. These are some of the practical lessons from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hari Om Tat Sat. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः हरे गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदनाम् मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुलं गायते गिरिमत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् हरि ओम तत्सत्. So, very beautifully, Prabhupada has cleared all kind of doubts for the readers when they read this translation, where it is written in the present tense 5,000 years ago. And it's a conversation. So, the present tense means there are so many meaning. Because the present tense is that the kingdom of Hastinapura by Maharaja Yudhishthira, when it is said to retire to the forest, is now ruling the world. So, this is a very important statement. And Srila Prabhupada gives, there are two things. Number one, according to some authorities, it is said that just near past is also considered present tense. And similarly, and another important thing is that continuous fact is called present tense, which means that the Maharaja Parishit's reign can be even now continued. It's a fact. It can be continued by simply the government authorities, the ruling authorities should very strictly adhere to close down the 4 places of sinful activities, namely illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. If they shut these doors, all the governments and authorities, you will see Parishit Maharaj's reign once again can be continued. So this is also another reason why it is said in the present tense. And another reason is that it is near past, in the sense that after Parishit Maharaj's demise, just within a few years only, this Naimisharanya Yajna started. Even Balaram's contemporary has visited in the beginning the 1000-year Yajna. That means it was started long before, it was running for a long time. So that is very clearly mentioned here. So the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam is to give a solution to even to the current situation as to how you will be able to perform a wonderful life in this Kali Yuga. Very clear. If we want to drive out the corruption from the state, Prabhupada writes, we must first of all organize society to accept the principles of religion. So what is the principles of religion? Principles of religion is austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. So that it will be favorable for the performance of religious activities like Sanatana Dharma of chanting the holy name. Now, the condition favorable, if you want the authorities of the government, they should close all the places of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and falsity. So these are practical lessons Srimad Bhagavatam gives even today, because the second canto, last chapter tells Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer for all questions. So today there are so many questions. Politicians have questions, common public has questions, press reporters have questions, professors and students have questions, doctors and patients have questions, businessmen has questions, everywhere questions and questions and questions. And Srimad Bhagavatam gives the practical solution, lesson, answer for all the questions. So the authorities of the government, they should take it from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam and try to implement that for the betterment of the world. Hari Om Tat Sat. So let's go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 45. Itam bhutanubhavoyam
Itam
Bhavoyam
bhutanubhavoyam
abhimanyu suto nripa
abhimanyu
Abhimanyu
suto
Suto
nripa
Nripa
yasya palayatha ksaunim
yasya
Yasya
palayata
Palayata
chani
Shauni
यूयं सत्राय दीक्षिता
yuyam
Yuyam
satraya
Satraya
dikshita
Dikshita
Ittam bhutanubhavoyam Ittam
Bhavoyam
bhutanubhavoyam
Haribol, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear now.
Yeah. Itam bhutanubhavoyam
Ittam
Itam Bhavoyam
bhutanubhavoyam
abhimanyu suto nripa
Abhimanyu
Abhimanyu
suto
Suto
nripa
Nripa
yasya palayata ksaunim
Yasya
Yasya
palayata chani
Shauni
यूयं सत्राय दीक्षिता
Yuyam
Yuyam
satraya
Satraya Dikshita
dikshita
इतं भूतानुभावोऽयम्
Ittam
Itam Bhavoyam
bhutanubhavoyam
अभिमन्युसुतो नृप
Abhimanyu
Abhimanyu
suto
Suto
nripa
Nripa
यस्य पालयत क्षौनीम्
Yasya
Yasya
palayata
Palayata
chani
Shauni
यूयं सत्राय दीक्षिता
Yuyam
Yuyam
satraya
Satraya
dikshita
Dikshita Itam Bhutanubhavoyam Itam
Ittam
Bhutanubhavoyam
bhutanubhavoyam
Abhimanyu Suto Nripa
Abhimanyu suto nripa
Yasya Palayata Ksaunim
Yaksha palayata akshanim
Yuyam Satraya Dikshita
Yuyam satraya dikshita
Itam Bhutanubhavoyam
Ittam
Itam
bhutanubhavoyam
Bhutanubhavoyam Abhimanyu Suto Nripa
Abhimanyu
Abhimanyu
suto
Suto
nripa
Nripa Yasya Palayata Ksaunim
Yasya
Yasya
palayata
Palayata
chanim
Ksaunim Yuyam Satraya Dikshita
Yuyam
Yuyam
satraya
Satraya
dikshita
Dikshita
Ittam bhutanubhavoyam
Itam Bhutanubhavoyam
अम्बुद्धानुभावोऽयम्
Abhimanyu suto nripa
Abhimanyu Suto Nripa
Yasya palayata yakshanim
Yasya Palayata Ksaunim
Yuyam satraya dikshita
Yuyam Satraya Dikshita
Hari Om Tat Sat. Synonyms. Itambhuta, being thus.
Itam
Bhuta,
Bhuta,
being
being
thus.
thus.
Anubhava, experience.
Anubhava,
Anubhava,
experience.
experience.
I am of this.
I
I
am
am
of
of
this.
this.
Abhimanyu Sutha, son of Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu
Abhimanyu
Sutta,
Sutta,
son
son
of
of
Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Abhimanyu Sutta, Nrupa the king.
Abhimanyu Sutta, Nripa the king.
Yasya whose.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, whose?
Palayata on account of his ruling.
Palayata
Palayata,
on
on
account
account
of
of
his
his ruling.
ruling.
Shaunim on the earth.
Shaunim
Shaunim,
on
on
the
the earth.
earth.
Yuyam, you all.
You
Yam,
you all.
Satraya in performing sacrifices.
Kshatraya,
Satraya
in performing
performing
sacrifices.
sacrifices.
Dikshita initiated.
Dikshita,
Dikshita
initiated.
initiated.
Translation, please repeat after me. Maharaja Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu,
Maharaja
Maharaja
Parikshit,
Parikshit,
the
son
son
of
of
Abhimanyu,
Abhimanyu,
is so experienced that
is so
is so
experienced
experienced
that
that
by dint of his expert administration and patronage,
by
by
dint
dint
of
of
his
his
expert
expert
administration and
administration
patronage,
and parting,
it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this.
it
it
has
has
been
been
possible
possible
for
for
you to
you to
perform a
perform
sacrifice
a
such as
sacrifice
this.
such as this.
Purport.
Purport. The Brahmanas and the Sannyasis are expert in the spiritual advancement of society, whereas the Kshatriyas or the administrators are expert in the material peace and prosperity of human society. Both of them are the pillars of all happiness, and therefore they are meant for full cooperation for common welfare. Maharaja Parikshit was experienced enough to drive away Kali from his field of activities and thereby make the state receptive to spiritual enlightenment. If the common people are not receptive, it is very difficult to impress upon them the necessity of spiritual enlightenment. Austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, the basic principles of religion, prepare the ground for the reception of advancement in spiritual knowledge. And Maharaja Parikshit made this favorable condition possible. Thus, the rishis of Naimisharanya were able to perform the sacrifices for 1,000 years. In other words, without state support, no doctrines of philosophy or religious principles can progressively advance. There should be there should be complete cooperation between the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas for this common good. Even up to Maharaja Ashoka, the same spirit was prevailing. Lord Buddha was sufficiently supported by King Ashoka, and thus his particular cult of knowledge was spread all over the world. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 17th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are ending Canto 1 here, chapter 17. Canto 1, chapter 17, two more chapters are there. So, Maharaja Parikshit is the son of Abhimanyu. And Parishit Maharaj birth is wonderful because in the womb of his mother, he was protected by the personality of God Sri Krishna. His activities are also wonderful because he chastised Kali, who was attempting to kill a cow. To kill cow means to end human civilization. He wanted to protect the cow from being killed by the great representative of sin. His death is also wonderful because he got previous notice of his death, which is very wonderful for any mortal being. And thus he prepared himself for passing away by sitting down on the bank of the Ganges and hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord from the bona fide spiritual master. So that is the beauty of this life of Parikshit Maharaj, son of Abhimanyu. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport, the Brahmanas and the Sannyasis are expert in the spiritual advancement of society. So our ISKCON Sannyasis, if you see, especially the gurus like our Guru Maharaj, they are creating many Brahmanas in the society so that there can be spiritual advancement. They are not creating Brahmanas to create rituals for fruitive activities. No. They are creating Brahmanas. The purpose of creating Brahmanas is to let people know that they are not this body, they are eternal servant of Krishna, and they have a personal private relationship with Krishna, and based on the love and relationship, they should perform devotional service, and that's the goal of life, means of life, end of life, or beginning of life. So, the Kshatriyas or the government administrators, they should also be expert enough to maintain the peace and prosperity, to allow the human society, allow the Brahmanas to help others to understand the spiritual advancement and respect sannyasis and allow them to develop Krishna consciousness in the society. Now, if you see in India, the Ayodhya Ram Mandir, the government has invited ISKCON and the government has organized for 1 month continuous celebration and asked ISKCON to distribute books and preach there. This is government. This is not just only in Ayodhya, it should happen everywhere in every country and every continent. Then you can see this is neither Kali Yuga nor it is material world. You will see entirely it is Gaura Bhumi, not Bharata Varsha. It will become Gaudadesha Pura, complete. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu's glories will be sung in nook and corner of every villages. And our Guru Maharaj is the Gaurakatha Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarini. So it will 100% happen. There is no doubt. And all the governments will support gradually. So we have to work towards that because all the ISKCON devotees are already part of the Lord Chaitanya Leela. Lord Chaitanya Leela has not finished. It has only started. And now only it is being revealed as to who is Lord Chaitanya. People know Krishna. People don't know who is Gauranga. And it is our responsibilities or mistake that they don't know Gauranga. It is our responsibility to let them know who is Lord Chaitanya, who is Gauranga, and how he descended from the Goloka Vrindavan by simply chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What he has given to us is invaluable. One should understand it is not just a mantra. It is not just a mantra for Kali Yuga. It is that particular love of Krishna, which is meant for any living entity, anywhere, including Vaikuntha, what to speak of Satyuga or Kali Yuga in the material world of four-created Brahma universe. So every living entity should get that. And Lord Chaitanya, unlimitedly merciful, has descended with that particular love and he freely distributed to one and all here. And he has asked his devotees and associates further to distribute the same to one and all. In this way, he has garlanded the entire universe with the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he said that you can chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra continuously only when you put the garland around your neck of the third verses of the Sishtastakam Tranada Visunishena Taroriva Sahisruna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Satahari. So in order to perform this, you have to follow four regulative principles so that you are not considered sinful anymore. And that four regulative principles are no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. And with that particular following, we can reinstate Parikshit Maharaj's reign of Bharat Varsha back here in this material world, even in this very same Kali Yuga. Parishit Maharaj was, powerful enough to chastise Kali. Just imagine how powerful king was he. Is there any government who is dare chastise Kali today? Every government wants to open brothels, open liquor shops, and earn money. Huh? Which government is dare talk against Kali or want to challenge the Kali? Kali is the real enemy of the people today. Why people are suffering? It is because of the Kali's influence. And who allowed the Kali's influence? The government has allowed the Kali's influence. The Brahmanas have allowed the Kali's influence. Brahmanas are the responsible persons for the allowing the Kali into the state. We have seen that. So, starting from Sringi, the son of Samiki Rishi, because Lord Chaitanya, Krishna has mercifully looking at the Kali Yuga, he has given chance to all the Asuras to get birth in the Brahmana family during the Kali Yuga so that they can earn some piety. But instead of earning piety, this Asura who got birth in Brahmana families, they started misusing that power for creating irreligiosity and godless civilization. Their nature has not gone despite they got birth in the Brahmana's family. This is another evidence that by birth one cannot become Brahmana. He remains Asura only. But by guna karma, by association of the pure devotees and, by his performing some activities in such association makes him a pure devotee, not by birth. So, as soon as the Asuras got birth in the Brahmana families, they have allowed the Kali. They took advantage of the Kali to bring about an irreligious, godless civilization all around the world very fast. So this is the very dangerous situation. And Lord Krishna, he is very merciful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, he has come 500 years ago and give us the technique. Don't worry. These kind of Brahmanas or Asuras, because they got birth in Brahmana family and they are going to, we gave a chance to them for upliftment, but they misused the chance to bring about an irreligious, godless civilization. But you don't worry. I'm here to protect you and provide you. So you take to the chanting of his Hare Krishna, get your love of Godhead. I'm not putting any rules and regulation because of the so-called Brahmana culture has already fallen. So nobody can follow the rules and regulation. So you follow only these 4 regulative principles to keep yourself away from Kali and chant this Hare Krishna and get the love of Godhead and join in the eternal service of devotional service of Krishna. So that is the purpose of life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is being distributed all over the world today by Guru Maharaj. So one should take advantage of that and distribute further this mercy to others, those who have not taken advantage of. That is the purpose of our life. Not simply you enjoy. You also give this particular Krishna consciousness to others as far as possible. Yare deko tare ka Krishna upadesa. Amara agya ye sare desh guru ho gya. So you have to become guru by giving Krishna consciousness to one and all, whomsoever concerned you are coming across. So what does that mean? Whomsoever concerned you are coming across. Whom are you coming across? You are coming across your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, and so on. In this way, start preaching to them. And in the Krishna consciousness, signs of Krishna. Give them signs of Krishna and chanting of Hare Krishna, which has the love for Krishna. So this is given from the bona fide souls. Accept the bona fide spiritual master and follow the instructions of propagating the holy name all around the world. We can get a reed which is as good as Parishit Maharaj's reed. This is not a impractical solution. This is very simple, scientific and practical. And anyone can experience. That is a beauty. At least Parishit Maharaj and Parishit Maharaj like king is required. But here, the king is not available. The government is not as good as Parishit Maharaj. But still it is possible because of the mercy and potency of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra given by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So the Panchatattva has empowered all the living entities to reinstate. You don't need to depend on the government. All of them have accepted democracy. People will make their own government. So the Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has also given us a chance. Okay, if you want to select a government to make your life successful, that is not possible because you are a fool. So better you take this better life I am giving you directly. Government will not give you. So they gave this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Bhakti Yoga process for our life. So one should establish in the Bhakti Yoga process life by chanting Hare Krishna, accepting bona fide spiritual master, and in the Bhagavata Dharma, and it should be propagated. So that is the purpose of our life. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. Fine.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
प्रभुजी, ये धर्म के मूल सिद्धांत है तप, स्वच्छता, दया तथा सत्य। ये 4 धर्म के मूल सिद्धांत है। ये आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान को ग्रहण करने की भूमिका तैयार करते हैं। तो ठीक है, हम और 4 रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल है उसको हम त्याग देते हैं, छोड़ देते हैं। फिर अपने गृहस्थाश्रम में रहते हुए इन चारों में स्वच्छता, दया तथा सत्य ये तो समझ में आती है, लेकिन तप हम कैसे करेंगे? बिना परिवार छोड़े, बिना घर द्वार छोड़े, बिना संसार छोड़े, परिवार में रह करके तप कैसे करेंगे?
बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है। ये जो तप है, ये हम गृहस्थाश्रम में रह करके किस तरह कर सकते हैं? जब हम ये 4 रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल्स, नो मीट ईटिंग, नो गैम्बलिंग, नो इलिसिट सेक्स, नो इंटॉक्सिकेशन को पालन करता हुआ ये हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का 16 माला जपा करके हम ये भगवत धर्म का वितरण करेंगे, यही तपस्या है इस कलयुग के लिए। और ये गृहस्था बाकी ब्रह्मचारी सन्यासी से बहुत ही अच्छी तरह कर पाता है, क्योंकि गृहस्था जो है समाज के अंदर रहता है, सन्यासी और ब्रह्मचारी समाज से बाहर रहता है। समाज के अंदर वो आके जाते हैं, किंतु गृहस्थ समाज के अंदर होता हुआ उन चीजों को पालन करता, यही तपस्या है। और इसकी वजह से जो समाज के अंदर अन्य लोग हैं वो इनको देख करके उनको रोल मॉडल स्वीकार करते हैं कि भाई ये तो बहुत अच्छा है इसका जिंदगी, चलो हम इनके जैसे जी रहे हैं। क्योंकि हर एक को अपने जीवन को सुख शांति से जीने के लिए कोई ना कोई उदाहरण को देख रहे हैं कि कोई है ऐसा, तो मैं उनका पालन करूं। तो हमारा गृहस्थ भक्त लोग जो है वो समाज के अंदर रहता हुआ ये भक्ति योग का अभ्यास करते हैं, प्रैक्टिसिंग कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस। और उनके घर में जो है वो गौर निताई रखते हैं और प्रसाद खाते हैं और चैंटिंग करते हैं। इस तरह भक्त लोग है समाज के अंदर गृहस्थाश्रम में रहता हुआ काम नौकरी करते हैं, पैसा कमाते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, लेकिन उनके जीवन बहुत ही धन्य हो जाता है। इसको देख करके बाकी समाज वालों को भी आकर्षित हो जाते हैं। वो इस तरह वो जो है अपने जीवन के जरिए ही कृष्ण भावनामृत को फैला सकते हैं, और इसी को तपस्या कहते हैं इस कलयुग के अंदर। और जो आप कर रहे हैं वो ऑलरेडी आप तपस्या कर रहे हैं, आप गृहस्थ आश्रम में रह करके, इसलिए उसके लिए अलग से कुछ आपको करने की आवश्यकता नहीं।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
So if there are no further questions or comments, let's wind up and continue our Srimad Bhagavatam class tomorrow morning at 7:30. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
So today is Preeti's birthday, right?
Yes.
Wish you a very, very blissful and Krishna conscious appearance day, and may this life be the last material birth for you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So let us all bless Preeti for her wonderful, successful, spiritual, Krishna conscious life, not separating from her Guru, and she can be very blissfully live eternally in the association of Guru Maharaj. And so for that, let's all chant one time Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Vaishnav Pranam. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। जय प्रेमानंदे।
हरि हरि बोल।